Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and now it's time to look at Neo Champion, Leaf, and Moltres with their rerun coming up. Let's see how good this character is able to perform still in the modern content, and I honestly still just... Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I definitely value a lot of utility characters over just like pure damage dealers. I will just go ahead and say that I just think Champion Leaf is like better than like Red. Not in the sense that, like, you can compare their strength, but just if I were to have to pull for one of them, I would probably want Champion Leaf more because her utility is so good, and I just kind of prefer that more than a lot of the good utility Red provides and his damage. It's not to say, again, that Leaf is better than Red. It's just that if I wanted certain traits more, it would mostly be Leaf's. It really would be. Let's just take a look at her kit. I guess this character's still nuts. I mean, again, if you watch the Red video, you would know that I'm recommending you some for any of these three, because they're all so stupidly cracked. Let's just take a look at Leaf. All right, let's just take a look at Leaf so people can get a good idea of like why she's so good as well. At level 156 Star EX investment, she's got 800 HP. 430 in both offenses, 235 defense, 224 special defense, and 394 speed. Solid. This is legitimately, solid stats. I mean, the offenses are pretty good, the defenses are decent. Nice. She gained the support EX role. This gives her very good defenses for a non-support character. 275 defense, 264 special defense. These are good stats. She can definitely make this work. This is nice. And the speed is pretty decent as well. I mean, it didn't change, but it's decent, right? It's nearly 400 speed is pretty decent, pretty solid. And of course, a little bit of HP gain as well. Good HP stat. Good stats, right? Okay. Glad we all agreed. Let's look at her passives first. I think looking at these characters as passives might just be better because it kind of provides a lot of context for the rest of their kit. She's got Kanto Pride, powering up physical moves up to by 20% up to 50%, and applying damage reduction of 25% up to 31% for all physical attacks, right? Of course, this does not apply for sync moves, but still, this is going to be good for damage purposes. That's nice. Good. She's got Love of Palette, which lowers enemy attack, special attack, and special defense by 1 when the user's Pokemon uses a status move targeting that opponent. That status move in question being Leer. This is an AoE move that lowers enemy defense, and now also lowers attack, and special defense. This gives her amazing debuff utility. Being able to debuff both defenses and both offenses empowers a lot of characters. It empowers, obviously, defensive debuffs are great for any physical or special attacker you're going to be running with her, or of course herself. Offensive debuffs are good for reducing enemy damage, and of course being able to activate other multipliers like Power Play or Devastation, Overpower. Those type of multipliers all getting activated, really, it's very, very strong. And of course this is AoE. This is AoE debuffs. That is nuts. -4 stats AoE is some of the best debuffing just in the game in general. It's really, really good. She's also got Sky Illuminating White Blaze, lowering target fire rebuff the first time her Pokemon uses a status move targeting that opponent each battle. Leer, again, it's AoE, so that's AoE -1 fire rebuff on the enemy just for using Leer on top of the debuffs. Effect only activates once per battle. Lowers target fire rebuff by 1 the first time the user's sync move targeting the opponent is successful each battle. The effect can only activate once per battle. Sadly, this is single target, but of course, you're going to be using it on the middle. The sides are going to go down pretty fine anyway, so that's okay. No big deal. And she's able to do -1 fire rebuff AoE and -1 fire rebuff on her sync move, so -2 fire rebuff on a single target enemy. That is very, very strong. And then Team Solar Immunity, preventing status conditions and flinching, confusion, and trap while the weather is sunny for all allies. This is also a pretty damn good gimmick because there are definitely some stages that like to do status conditions, status changes, stuff like that. It's just annoying bullshit, right? Well, I think one of the bigger ones would probably be, not like Lucy's Ultimate Battle. This one, she likes to do AoE Poison. If you're in Sun, well, Leaf just effectively shuts down her whole damn gimmick. Granted, her gimmick's easily shut down by a lucky skill, but still. What the fuck? No, shut up. She's able to, of course, this shows like her ability to be able to really just shut down a lot of enemy stages that are able to be super damned annoying with some of their gimmicks. Like, especially if enemy does like paralysis or something, or if they do, again, flinching, trap, confusion, Leaf can shut it down extremely effectively because, you're probably going to want to run her with a Sun character anyway because she is a fire type character. Cygnus Morty, one of the best supports in the game still, especially for her. So, yeah, definitely a good ability. So now we're going to go into actual moves. Again, Leer. AoE attack, special defense debuffs, and -1 rebuff the first time it's used. Stupid, right? Stupidly good. Potions. Great healing. This debuffs combined with potions already gives her an amazing prowess for the legendary arenas, which you'll see in a little bit. So this is already just really good. These effects are already really good. Potions are great for healing the team as well. I mean, this is pretty damn crazy, because she's able to actually, you know, do damage, nuke, do good utility, but now she's also able to heal the team and make sure that you actually have good survivability on top of whatever support you bring, which is likely going to have their own form of healing, whether that be Champion Blue, Arxu Steven, Chase, whoever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Okay. Fiery Wings, Flare, Blitz. This is nuts, too. The effects of this move is also nuts. It's a 3-gauge move, 165 power. Cool. Targets an opponent, accuracy is 100. It's activated whenever there's an enemy with Lord type, fire type rebuff. See, that's fine. This is a lot more fun for her because she actually has the ability to spam Leer. So if she can, this is fine naturally, because a lot of stages don't care much about like getting rid of their rebuff once it's on them, because rebuff is a permanent condition. The only way that doesn't apply is legendary arena stages, which we'll go into why that's fine anyway, and also Ultimate Battle. Specifically, not Ultimate Battle specifically, but where is it? Argenta's Ultimate Battle, which is able to get rid of her rebuff at 50% HP. But because Leaf's able to set it on her sync move, you can just stall using Leaf's sync move until you hit that 50% point on Argenta, and you'll be fine. No big deal. So that's good. That's obviously good for being able to activate those gimmicks. And in terms of legendary arenas, Leaf has the utility of being able to spam Leer and also spam potions in order to get to her sync move, which will be able to actually do a ton of damage. That is what's going to be able to pretty much save her from not really being able to do damage. And obviously that's still really effective. It's, of course, activating again when rebuff's activated, deactivated whenever there's no enemy with type rebuff. Removes frozen conditions. If target stats are lowered, the amount of decrease is doubled. Makes the weather sunny the first time the attack was successful, 10% chance to burn. Okay. The amount of decreases of enemy stats are doubled. So if they've got -2 defense, it effectively becomes -4. And if they have -4, it'll become -6, because it's doubling, right? It would become -8, but there's no -8 defense, -8 stats. So obviously being able to debuff enemy stats by double is going to be really solid, because this means she can go for Leer 3 times, have the enemy at -3 attack, special attack, and the defenses, right? And then be able to use her Flare Blitz and double those debuffs and not have to worry about having to use Leer 3 more times, and she can get to pretty much doing damage, which after she does damage is able to mean she can set Sun, which is great for obviously having the Team Solar immunity active, great for increasing her damage because she's a fire type, and also good for running her with different allies who might want to preserve their sets of Sun. Leaf pairs up extremely well with characters like Signusuit Morty, or Mix Scout Blue, or even like Arcsuit Leon, or Damage Challenge Marty to an extent, because she's able to set Sun herself. She's able to set Sun herself, not really rely on an ally, and then if you have her or an ally who can extend Sun, then you're just maintaining Sun for longer, and you're able to have the Sun never sets the whole battle, pretty much. Which is obviously going to be really strong for increasing her damage, increasing any fire-type allies' damage, and maintaining like effects like her Team Solar immunity and whatever other fire-related passives or Sun-related passives she or any allies might have. So that Sun is good, and of course this is a good damaging move. It's physical, it's able to be powered up by her Master passive, and of course be increased damage because of the defensive debuffs, and of course 165 raw power here, or base power, is pretty good. And the Glory of the Flame, raising attack and special attack by 6 and crit by 3. Just no downside to using her trainer move whatsoever. It's just, max out your offenses instantly and start going to town with those debuffs and that damage. This is a great base kit. This gives the players a little bit of everything with Champion Leaf. It gives them a good showing of how debuffs can be extremely strong for enhancing character damage with Leer. It gives them a showing of how, potions can be extremely effective for maintaining survivability on your team or yourself. It gives you a showing of good damage, as well as good effects of being able to set Sun, for example, the effects of having a good weather effect for your team. And also being able to have good tech of, doubling those stat debuffs, full self-sufficiency, so you don't have to worry about, bringing support or being too complicated, whatever. And also being able to lower enemy fire rebuff to see how that increases team damage. She's like the ultimate, like, new player's guide to how game mechanics work character, because she's able to do pretty much everything by herself in an easy and effective to understand way. And it kind of shows, like, a new player how they can understand a lot of this game's, like, mechanics and be able to use other characters and not just Champion Leaf, who's able to be like a good introduction study to it, because she's so stupidly good. So nuts. And even just aside from that, of course, these abilities are good in general anyway. AoE debuffs, no matter what, are going to be solid. And of course, the fact that she does 4 different stats at once AoE is obviously stupid. And of course, being able to double those debuffs as well is equally stupid. Potions for the healing is going to be great for maintaining utility on top of whatever your support can do for healing and defensive utility and everything. Full self-sufficiency to not have to worry about bringing a specific support. You can bring literally anybody. Like, if you want to bring someone purely defensive, or someone that maybe enhances with physical or special moves next, or single move up next, or whatever, you can bring them. Good versatility in who you can bring to support her. Or, of course, you can focus on bringing again a more defensive support that also enhances her, like Signature Morty, who's able to set Sun, right? And, of course, the fire rebuff, being able to enhance fire damage on top of setting Sun. She can set Sun and lower enemy fire rebuff, so she's kind of double dipping in the amount of buffs that she can apply to herself and to the team. That's pretty nuts. I mean, there's not really much else to say there. It's just such good abilities to have. It really is. These are just amazing tech utilities. It's super good. So I guess we'll look at the grid now. I mean, obviously Leaf is just good at 1 out of 5. Her nuke is innate power play. This is 120% maximum power with 18 debuffs, which of course she doesn't really struggle to apply, right? She lowers 4 stats and up to -6 for each. That's 24 debuff, 24 stats, or minus 24 on the stats, right? For activating this nuke. That's fine. But it's not really the greatest. This is good for, to start out for sure. I mean, 120% power is definitely not a bad baseline, and it's good for when you get better multipliers in the grid. But for the most part, I think the best part about her nuke is the fact that she's got the support EX roll, which means she's able to have a power up to the whole team by setting the giving the team an extra sync buff after using her sync move with that support EX function. +2 instead of +1. That's giving your team an extra 50% damage. And combined with that, you do get some damage out of it because of the power play. That's not bad. Though this nuke is a lot better once you actually get her duped up to get her the second power play. But of course, this can be good for lower tier content like the Champion Stadium, and of course can be good for being good enough in Ultimate Battles or something not Ultimate Battles, Legendary Arenas, to be able to clear those bars and focus on a lot of her other abilities, like maybe getting potion impairs or something in the grid. So definitely not bad. Not a bad kid at all. Looking at the grid at 1 out of 5, she's got Dauntless, Headstrong, and Flameproof. These are fine abilities. I mean, sometimes stats like to be debuffed. Burn immunity is nice, but she already has solar immunity, so this isn't that crazy. But I guess maybe against, I'm not even against Moltres because it has Infinite Sun. Bruh. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Glory of the Flame NPR2, also not really that useful. If she gets her stats debuffed or something like that, then I could see good usage in that, but at the same time, you could also just end up running Dauntless and Headstrong, so she doesn't tend to really care too much about this. And then Gauge Refresh 3 on Leer, sure, I guess. It's something. Yeah, 1 out of 5 is not that great. 2 out of 5 is better, though. She gets 2 Sync Nodes, Mighty Affliction 2, Leer Flabbergast, Potion Master Healer, Quick Cure, Special Attack buffs, attack buffs, Hostile Environment 4. 50% chance to burn, that's not bad. That's a pretty good gimmick, pretty good utility check, right? 50% chance to burn. I mean, that deactivates gimmicks like Cobalion and Uxie's. Not enough said, pretty solid. Also activates and burn multipliers for any other ally that might have them. Does Marnie have one? Fire type. I forget. Does Variety Marnie, for example, have a burn multiplier? I actually forget. No, she's got Solar Flare. So she can burn. I mean, that's something. Cool. Either way, burn could be good for activating some multipliers for any characters who might have them, whether that's applicable or not. Okay. Leer Flabbergast, Confusion. I mean, again, more gimmick check utility. This is, again, good against, Uxie or any stage that has, acute senses. This just gives her better abilities to check, enemy gimmicks and be able to attack them or whatever while they are weakened. Mighty Affliction 2, applying physical moves next. 30% chance to increase physical moves next by 1 when the Pokemon uses a status move. If you do want to like use this to stack up physical moves next for that usage of Flare Blitz after using Leer a few times, you can do that because Leer has legitimately good applications to be used like in a row or whatever, obviously for the debuffs, but also just for like delaying usage of the Flare Blitz so you can keep that sun up. A lot of stages use that for a strategy, like Ultimate Battles. I'm sure Legendary Arenas use it as well. Being able to maintain sun over a certain like duration is pretty solid. So being able to like play around with that by using Leer and still having good effects coming out of your move is not bad. And again, you're getting the physical move next here as well if you opt to pick this tile up. The +2 sync nodes are pretty decent. I don't think it makes her nuke like extremely worth using, but it does help it for sure. So if you are trying to legitimately like make her nuke work, even just despite only having 120% multipliers, the 2 sync nodes here just help that out. The quick cure, I mean, removing a status change, again, she's got this, so this is good if this is applied before she has sun up or in some time period where sun is not like active or whatever. So I guess, but you're not gonna find, I don't think you're gonna find too much usage out of this app though anyway. I just don't think so. Potion Master Healer, this of course, you know, is it 50% or 60% healing? It's 60%, right? Either way, it doesn't matter too much. She's getting more healing on the potions. That's going to be good for maintaining her own health, ally health, whatever. Great. Nice. Good to have. She's also got, I think that's it, right? I think that is actually it. The +2 attack nodes are decent too if you want to like increase her damage a little bit. But for the most part, that's all she's really gotten. 2 out of 5. I don't think her 2 out of 5 is nuts, but the Master Healer, maybe the Sync nodes, Mighty Affliction could be good, and of course these extra abilities to set Confusion and better burn chance could be good for some enemy like gimmick deactivation. Again, Cobalion and UC being probably some of the bigger examples. At 3, well, granted, in UC's case you've got rebuff anyway, but still, I mean, it just makes it easier because you don't have to worry about playing around the rebuff. Anyway, at 3 out of 5, she gets a lot of her better stuff. This is really what you're wanting to get for like her nuke, and even a lot of her utility is very appreciative of 3 out of 5. Power Play, Drought Alert 3, Potion NPR 3, Endurance I guess, 2 more Sync nodes, Afflictor's Fervor, 1 on Leer, and Solar Flare. Also, Insult Injury and Calorie Acceleration, I guess. Okay, so Drought Alert, obviously extending Sun Extension, that's great for any type of team you're going to be running her on with like fire allies. Like Mixed Blue is going to appreciate that because he obviously only sets sun twice. Leaf only sets sun twice because of the solar sync here. So you're able to extend that sun and really make a lot better usage out of it, especially because Blue's like a field sync pair and he can extend it pretty much twice. It's obviously really good for like, for example, Gloria and Cinderace, because after her Super Awakening, she can actually set Sun after using G-Max Fireball, so that's an extra set of Sun that is now extended, and you're able to work that better on your team. So Morty appreciates it. He's able to have his own extended Sun with Field, and then extend it even more. Does he extend Sun in his Super Awakening? He does. He extends it even more. So you can have literally infinite Sun because of Drought Alert, because of Champion Leaf, and Morty's own Drought Alert, right? You're able to extend Sun and use it for even other characters that don't set Sun. Obviously, for characters who can't set Sun, I don't think Leon's able to set Sun at all. I'm pretty damn certain. Yeah, like on top of my head. This is good for him, right? You're able to set Sun twice with her via the Flare Blitz and also via her Sync move, so you're able to use those 2 extended usages of it to empower a character like Leon, who cannot set Sun a ton in that short amount of time, even though you still would probably prefer to run them alongside a support like Morty, who can set Sun a lot more consistently and not have to worry about like certain timing of it, right? So obviously the Drought Alert is going to be good. The Solar Sync is going to be good for that same reason too. It gives her basically near full self-sufficiency and being able to set Sun for herself and for the team. Though again, you still probably do want to run her with someone like Savior Suit Morty, maybe Savior Suit Acerola, or any other Sunsetter, Mixed Blue, all that to just really make sure it's maintained, especially for longer battles like an Ultimate Battle. That would be very good, obviously. She's got, of course, the Power Play. Another note of Power Play just makes her nuke so much better. She's got now 4 Sync nodes, if you can pick them all up. I don't think you really can, but go for it. Try it. Try champ, I guess. But if you can, that plus 2 instances of Power Play, that's 240% multipliers, plus obviously the extra, up to 430 base power Sync move here. That's good. That's obviously really good. It's going to be a good Sync nuke. That's obviously what's one of her best utilities, is the fact that even somehow if she loses the ability to use her Flare Blitz, she can fall back on using her nuke to do a ton of good damage. And of course, that's really, really good, especially if you combine it with like a circle user like Chase, because her nuke is special. She can be enhanced under Chase's special circle. or any allies circle array, any special attack buffing circle, that's going to be giving her extra power there as well, or any other character that can set stun, set another layer of rebuff, which we have a lot of. Leon, for one, he can lower the final enemy rebuff, right? Do all enemies -3. That's stupid. And that's probably one of the bigger, funnier things about like these characters as a duo, is that they can run under stun and -3 rebuff. And that's the baseline. You don't even have to consider what other power applications they have, like Leaf being able to debuff defenses, or the fact they've got master passives /arc passives, right? You don't have to consider any of that when you've got the fact that they set stun and -3 rebuff for 60 and 50% multipliers respectively. That's already a ton of damage. Oh boy. And that's one of the bigger reasons why this character's so nuts. Setting stun and -2 rebuff on her own is just increasing the ally damage so much, and of course her own damage a crap load. So, yeah, okay, insult to injury, debuffing enemy defenses, more powers up enemies' moves, or powers up her moves, sorry. That's good. That's an extra multiplier to make her Flare Blitz do more damage. If you are trying to focus on giving her some good DPS, this is the good tile to go for. It's right up here. It's not too painful to get, because you're probably going to go up here for Power Play / Dread Alert anyway, so this is not a bad placement for the tile as well, so not too bad to get. Catalytic Acceleration, applying Gauge Acceleration after using the user's Sync move. That's pretty good as well. This gives her great gauge management ability, because it's every time she uses her Sync move, which her Sync move has good effect for 1, because it can be powered up because of support. 2, it sets stun because of Solar Sync, and 3, it's just a good Sync nuke anyway because of double power play and the Sync power-ups and all that, right? So having the Catalytic Acceleration on this is pretty solid if you are trying to manage gauge. Extremely solid, I would say, in the Legendary, and is if her gauge isn't good enough anyway, though I feel like it would be anyway because of Leer, but I haven't actually looked a lot at what Champion Leaf can do, so, well, I have, but not direct video evidence. I've just minor research. So, yeah, either way, Catalytic Acceleration is a good way to manage gauge. It's actually quite effective for her. Afflictor's Fervor on Leer, reducing sync countdown by 1 the first time it's used. This could be good if you're trying to like do a little bit of sync ramping, like partner up with like Sigma Suit May or something. Another good fire sprint-ish character. She's sprint EX roll, but still, she does sync countdown. Pair it up with that type of character, you could definitely get good usage out of it for that first like sync cycle. But past that, it's not that great because it's only on the first time. You're most likely only going to be able to pick this up because it's just kind of in your way to getting to like everything else. Endurance, if you get down to the point where you need that endurance, again, I think same thing with Champion Red I said in the last video, if you can get down to that endurance, it could potentially save you and protect you from enemy damage, right? That one time or whatever. That could potentially like save the run. There's been cases, for sure. And then Potion, NPR 3, 40% chance to restore potions. That's stupid. That's really good. Being able to have a 40% chance to restore potions, this means she can effectively spam potions as long as you get lucky enough, and 1 or 2 NPRs on potions can make a difference in a lot of battles. Legendary arenas, ultimate battles, potentially like high score event battles if you pick up the Potion NPR for that game mode. That's going to be really good, and if you can obviously play around it a lot, then, well, that's just making your team survive for that much longer. Especially, again, considering Potion Master Healer as well, being able to heal up more HP. This, I'm sure Potion NPRs have been a big savior on why she can do some of these solos. Mostly probably these ones. Anyway, actually, I want to see that. Let's see. Tornadus, B6, Grid. That's a lot of potions. Yeah, it literally is what enabled her to do Tornadus to begin with. I didn't even think she could do Tornadus, but either way, that's a lot of potions. Don't do. But the point is that her utility is, on top of those potion spamming, is so good that it is enabling her to beat a stage that she probably wouldn't otherwise be able to. It's yay. Okay, well, that's enough brain fog out of the way. I've not been the best at describing these characters, but I hope that people are getting the idea of how strong these different traits are, even if I can't explain it super well. She can solo 12 legendary, and that's obviously good. But if we want to just look at her type matchup chart or whatever, this is how she handles the rest of the stages as well. 27 overall score with literally only better being 28, because those are all characters that can solo the stages. Champion Leaf is able to handle these stages extremely well. The ones that she handles the least well are probably just Moltres and Regirock, because Regirock does not play well with debuffing characters, but the fact that she can do physical damage is helpful against it, and also, of course, potion spamming, that's going to be helpful. And Moltres, who is effectively powered up in Sun and can also not be debuffed in Sun, so she's losing a lot of power there, but the fact that she's also powered up herself in Sun, that's helpful, right? And again, potions, so those are the two stages she kind of struggles with, but everything else she does really, really well against, alongside having a decent, like, even with a, like, decently low invested partner. Very, very cool. Damage challenge. Already searched it up. I mean, yeah, fire is this, yeah, one opponent, 4 million damage. That's pretty stupid. It's pretty nuts. And of course, you know, people here are consistently getting like 3 million, high 2 millions, right? Like these are she's a character that's very, very easy to get a high score with in the damage challenge. And she's good. She's strong, obviously. And then ultimate battles. I mean, do we really need to? Is there a way we can look at like a character matchup chart criteria? Damn it, no. Is there a matchup chart? No. Yes, there was. There was a matchup chart. Okay. Anyway, Leaf Champion, if we want to look at her for these stages, I mean, she can clear Argenta 40 million times over here because she's able to set Sun and Rebuff, which deactivates all of her gimmicks. She's able to help out with with defeating Palmer. And mostly her debuffs, I'd say, are probably good here, and also her support EX. Still, she's also able to actually enhance these two characters as well, these two very high-powered damage dealers, because Palmer does not care really too much about having supports. Mina, Wallace, and Leaf, because Mina's nuts. Champion Bianca for extra debuffs, Hilda for the extra Unova power up, and also the fact that she's a great damage dealer. I mean, clearing Palmer extremely well. Leaf's got great utility and good damage for doing that too. The Entangling Venom, I mean, again, that solar immunity is so good against Lucy, on top of course, having such good damage. She can literally duo, but granted, a lot of characters can duo with Arceus Steven. Still, that's quite good. Leon Ultimate Battle, yeah. Same case, right? I mean, they're able to clear these stages just because of how good Leaf's utility is, being able to apply extra buffs to the team, being able to prevent status conditions. Like, one of Leon's worst gimmicks in this Ultimate Battle is the fact that his sides have, where is it at? Move on opponent and sleep 9. Putting you straight to sleep, like night, right? Putting you to sleep, well, Leaf's Team Solar immunity prevents that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Leaf. Neat Ultimate Battle. One run, but still, she's able to, the fact she did the Sunsetters, right? You're able to get rid of that sand. That's good. Sharon's able to do the speed debuffing. Cool. Clears the stage. Off type. Nice. Nolan's Plucky Punches. Her utility is just not like the greatest here, just because of how the stage works. But I mean, you can probably get a good clear out of her, just if you want to even like pair, like again, this type of stage here where you've got a duo, you can literally put her into the third and she's going to be doing something. Just as an example. Giovanni, this guy is stupidly reliant on debuffs. The fact that Leaf can get rid of those debuffs is obviously super helpful. That's going to be clearing the stage extremely well. Evelyn, also a character that's relying upon debuffs. Look at how many clears she's got, right? She's able to do so much debuff utility on Evelyn that it deactivates all of her gimmicks, and of course her damage, potion healing, yada yada, whatever. Team and hit fire. If you're running over the fire team, then the fire team enhancement here, then like that's also really good. Master Royal, she's able to apply burn. I mean, that's something, I don't know if that's really how much what people do for a lot of the utility, but she can. That's obviously going to be helpful, right? The burn, the debuff utility, because Master Royal the Master Royal gets power buffs when he has speed, attack, and special attack buffs. Well, you can debuff the attack and special attack extremely effectively with Leaf, not the speed so much, but you can play around that, of course. So she's got a good gimmick check there. Doesn't really gimmick check Nimona. Nimona's just annoying anyway. Needs a negative status change, which is fine. You can apply those with Leaf anyway, but of course you need a psychic terrain as well. So I don't think you can definitely do a clear with Leaf for sure. Her utility is still going to be good here. It's just that a lot of time you're probably going to want to use like psychic characters or like psychic terrain setters, and if you're using psychic terrain, you're probably going to want to bring another character who can work with that. Or, in like in an instance like this, a grassy terrain setter, right? And then another strong character. Just thinking about it, I mean, I'm definitely confident she can clear the stage. Just you want to bring a certain gimmick check to clear Nimona because she wants what's it called? God damn it, a terrain. And Leaf obviously can't set a terrain. She can set Sun. which has been really good up to now. Morgan, doesn't she have like debuff immunity at some point? No, she's just got Dauntless and Headstrong, but still, doesn't matter. She clears the stage extremely well. Watch this clear. This was fun. Hilda, I mean, she's able to have downside up, be able to completely negate Morgan's debuffs and work around them. Leaf, obviously able to debuff all of Morgan's stats as well. That's one of the biggest things for this stage, is being able to debuff Morgan's stats, allowing actual damage on her. Very, very nice, and Dana... we'll see. I honestly think that she'll have good utility against Dana, because Dana's obviously setting Ice Zone and stuff like that. Or not Ice Zone, she's able to set Hail, and that can be a problem for her because she's got Healing Hail and Winter Coat. So if you can get rid of the Hail, which Leaf can, you're cooking pretty well. Point being, obviously, Leaf is good. Leaf is good in any game mode. She's going to be great against the high score event because she's able to enhance team damage with the fire rebuff while not directly enhancing the enemy damage, though she does also do that in the form of Sun, but at the very least, you're getting double the power while the enemy's only getting a certain, like 50% extra power, right? Because she can actually do the rebuff, which doesn't, power up the enemy in turn. So, good character, great character even. Gives people a lot of range on like what a certain character is able to do. Like, ooh, a character's got debuffs that could be good. Good damage, right? Good healing utility in tech or whatever else, being able to rebuff, have like status condition and status change immunity. These are all amazing abilities encompassed into one kit, and Leaf plays it very, very well, like a tech character should, and she's obviously going to be really good in turn because of it. So yeah, that's why Champion Leaf is so strong, very, very good for so many fire types, and even outside of fire types, her debuff utility is so good, her damage is quite solid, her healing utility is very, very solid as well for being able to just heal up enemy damage on top of negate their damage with those debuffs and whatnot, right? So, very, very appreciated. Very, very cool. Very, very good stuff. So, that's Champion Leaf's overview. I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, I'm sorry if I didn't explain this stuff very, very well, but when it comes to a character like these Neo Champion Kanto characters, there's a lot to think about. And I don't script these videos. If I were to script it, it would obviously be a lot easier to do, but I just kind of wing it as I go. And well, obviously, I mean, you just take a look at one of these stages, you quickly process in 4 seconds what they can do, and you think about how a character can perform against them. That's kind of how I've been doing a lot of this. So, sorry if it's not the best explanation ever or whatever, but I mean, if you want to see how these characters perform, search up Champion Leaf on YouTube, and you're gonna get fucking 100 videos on her clearing ultimate battles, clearing legendary arenas, the damage challenge, stuff like that. She's obviously really good. You don't have to take my word for it. You can literally Google it, and in 2 seconds you'll figure it out. So yeah, great character. I'll see you later. Hope you all enjoyed. Good luck on your summons, good luck on your skipping. Next video we'll be going over Champion Blue. Peace.